Hi, everybody. Guess who? We are coming in with a mystery topic, which means there's nothing to talk about except to be here in this moment and be
Uh-oh.
consistent. There's a saying, Sabrina loves this saying, the show must go on, right? No
Right.
matter what, there's going to be a show. So we showed up. Here we are.
I think that training growing up, doing theater and dancing and performing was such a good training for life. The show must go on. And what that meant for me is that I always would put aside my busyness, my complaining,
Mm.
my but, should. Wait. You put all that stuff aside because the show must go on at the designated time the show is to go on. And you learn to set aside all of the looping thoughts, the excuses,
Excuses.
the reasons, just everything you learn to set aside because the show represented the priority. It represented the task at hand. It represented
Mm.
what my life was assigned to, what I had committed to. I commit to show up at this time on this night, number one. So I always I say that because it means so much to me. It doesn't feel like pressure. And I know many times in life I've been with a group of people and they're all debating something and I'm just like, yeah, but the show must go on.
Mm.
Like it's so easy. It's like, well, regardless of all the story, the show must go on.
Inside of the story, the show must go. I remember many times on my way to class to teach
You hold on a second.
and
Okay, I'm back.
feeling like I've got nothing tonight. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know what I'm going to teach. I don't feel the thing. And but I go anyway because it's the default. The default is the show must go on. I will show up, and you do.
I wonder if we could say like the choose fault instead of the default. Like you choose it.
Oh, it's a choose fault.
It's you choose
That's so
it.
cute. I choose fault. And I would show up, and then you just start to do what you do, right? And all of a sudden the momentum starts to kick
Yep.
in, and then you get into that place where the flow starts to. How many times have you not wanted to work out, but you went anyway to the gym or you went to class, and then
Hmm.
you're so glad that you did?
Yep.
So
Showing
it's
up.
just one foot in front of the other, and the show must go on.
You guys here live relate to that.
Yeah.
Hello, Mary J. Waters. We
Mary
see
J.
you.
Waters is
Yeah.
here.
Had a little sneaky peek into the ninja circle that day, remember?
Oh, was that Mary?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Mary. Hi, Jennifer. Barbara, Radhika, Christina, Debbie, Laura, Sabrina's here.
Barbara.
Yeah, I saw you, Barbara. All right.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, you have anything at all you want to talk about? Give us something.
Okay. Have you ever seen those Ask Us Anything?
Yes, I've seen this.
Have you? So,
Yes.
ask us anything.
Ask
Ready?
us in
One,
one,
two,
two, three,
three. We rarely say this. Put it in the chat now.
go. So this morning we were walking early. We took a little, I don't know, what would you say, 15-minute, 10-minute walk?
Mm-hmm.
And we came upon these ginormous crepe myrtle. Is it crepe or crate?
Creep.
Crepe myrtle trees.
Just say
You
it
guys know
fast.
what
Crepe Myrtle.
crepe myrtle? Do you know what they are? Have you guys seen them? They are so big and beautiful, and they're just down the way. And Sabrina said, "Oh, the state owns these because they weren't in someone's garden."
Yeah, they were outside of like an individual's property. They were part of what the homeowners
I think
association
the
would take care
homeowner
of.
owns them, not the state, but we can say the state owns them. Anyway, we planted some of these in our garden, and it's unbelievable how quickly they're growing and how beautiful they are.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got two in the front and two in the back, and they were just little, and it happened like within like what, 6 months?
No, it's been a year and
Has it
three
been a
months.
year?
Mm-hmm.
They're almost as big as those other ones that we saw. Maybe not that big. They're huge. They're so cool. And isn't that how it is with, oh, you know what? I need to scroll this because people are saying things in here. Can you see them? Yeah, we had to take pictures.
Crepe. It's crepe.
Great. Thank you,
So,
Barbara.
but when we were walking this morning, um, I at night, so it's been super hot in Austin, like 104, but feels like 112. It's been really hot and humid. And then last night broke into thunderstorms, rain. Rain when it's coming down so hard and it's windy, you can see it moving diagonally in the sky. And when we walked out this morning, I said, I can smell the rain. It's going to rain, and I can feel the rain in the air, even though it isn't raining yet. And we had a great conversation about how you can feel the moisture in the air that's going to turn into liquid water. I said, oh, well, that's like manifestation. Manifestation before something is dense enough to be seen, tasted, heard, touched. It's still there. The energy of it is still there, and you can almost like feel it coming. You can feel the energy of the thing before it pops into matter that's dense enough for the senses to pick it up. And that's what it felt like walking this morning. You could feel that there was so much rain, and we walked into the house after the walk, shut the door, boom,
You
it
know,
manifested.
Barbara was at the class this morning, the dojo thunderstorm, she said, the thunder show. It was so loud.
Yeah.
It was really cool. It was like God was talking.
Before we lived in Texas a long time ago, I remember hearing about Texas thunderstorms.
We live in Texas.
Texas thunderstorms. And it's true, they are huge. The lightning, the thunder, the rain, and the winds are just magnificent
It's
here.
like fire, lightning, very, very exciting.
It's like thunder.
I'm gonna knock on wood. Okay, there's some great questions coming in. One's from Joanna. What's been your greatest challenge in 2023 and also the greatest gift? Now, you can ponder on that while you think about what Laura says. She said, talk more about how the show must go on. I like it. Anything you share is a gem of wisdom. Why, Laura,
Yeah.
you shouldn't. Okay,
Me first?
you go.
Okay. So when I use the saying, the show must go on, to me at this point, this parallels, no matter what, I've made a commitment. I've made a commitment to serve truth. I've made a commitment that I'm going to perceive and focus on and expand love and light, that I'm going to perceive everything as a gift, that for me, everything is God and everything is a blessing, even if I don't understand it. And I know the gratitude will come later. And that is fundamentally what I am convicted to, devoted to, absolutely sure of. It is everything in my being. It's every cell of my being, that is what I am, and that's what this life is for. So no matter what, I'm going back to that. I'm going back to that. Going back to that. I'm going back to that. May get off for a little, nope, going back to that. And to me, that's, show must go on. And the show for me at this point, the show for me is I'm the star of the show of Sabrina totally being in love with light and merging with that and becoming that candy cane blended consciousness with the visible me and the invisible me. That's my show. And I'm sticking to it.
You know, all we talk about is working out and God and dogs. That's pretty much it. Well, for me,
and Chicago Fire.
And Chicago
Matterall.
Fire in the hole. The show must go on. To me, the word that comes is devotion. When you're just so in love with the divine and your life that no matter what, you will connect to that. That's the show of your life, as you're saying. I will show up for this show. My life's the show. You've been cast into this movie called your life.
But you get to develop your character.
And you get to develop your character. You get to rewrite the role. You get to always choose to be the hero. But if you're devoted to the light, if you're devoted to the hero that you are, then your show always gets picked up, right? You always get to shine, even through the tough stuff. The show must go on. The light will live on in you if you're devoted to the light, devoted to the love, devoted to your divine connection. I remember when I first I didn't know anything. I still don't know anything, but getting on the spiritual path, trying all these different religions, trying on different books, different teachers, teachings, I came upon the beautiful poems of Rumi. And Rumi had a teacher named Shams, and Shams was a very awakened master, and he was looking for that one student disciple who he could pass on his teachings and his love of the divine. And so apparently he disguised himself as a sugar merchant, and he came into a town
Not like a sugar mama.
like a sugar daddy, and he was looking for, and he said to the divine, like, help me find that person that I can pass this on to. And at the time, Rumi was a very advanced professor, teacher, who already had many, many students. And he was a theologian, he was a mathematician, he was a philosopher, he was very well versed. And apparently he was on a horse, or like a donkey, going down the street with students. And Shams came into the town and came up against this donkey, and held it by the bridle and started to speak. And I don't know what he said, or what they, like, if the accounts of what he said, but he said a question. He asked Rumi something so deep, so profound, that apparently Rumi passed out and fell off the horse. And Rumi was so enraptured by the level of this master that he would go into what I believe they called Shabbat. And he would go into discourse, or darshan, they say in Zen tradition, where he would just go and be with Shams and learn from Shams, and fell so in love with what Shams was teaching him. And at some point, they say that the other students became very, very jealous of Shams, because Rumi only wanted to spend time with this master, that supposedly they took his life. So Rumi went into grief and deep sadness, and would go down to the caravans where they would have these poles that would hold the tents up, and he would hold onto the pole, and he would just spin around and around, and he would talk about his connection to his teacher, and to he called it the friend, and about love. And he would get so drunk, and it's where the Sufi whirling comes from, of just spinning around and around. And he was just became enlightened in that process. And the reason I share all of that is, no matter what,
I was just about to ask.
the show must go on, meaning no matter what happens on the outside, your best friend disappearing, your lover, your connection to that tangible physical thing, the devotion must go on. The show, the light, the love, don't ever let it die inside you. Find your way back to it. And I don't know why that story came through, but I thought it was a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Let it light, let it shine.
Something that we've been enjoying talking about and discussing and chewing on is the word faith, and what faith is. Because I say, 100% faith. When I had my dream and my vision back in 2020, that I needed to be 100% full of faith, not 99. And that 99% faith actually isn't faith, it's hope. And that, think about that for a minute, right? Faith is 100% faith, knowing you are guided, complete trust, complete surrender, complete love, no matter what the show's going on. 99% is really good level of hope. Really, really, really good level of hope.
Good hope.
Right? Because 99% faith is not really faith by the definition that I have of faith. And I love reminding myself of that when I have certain thoughts. I'm like, do you want to live a life of hope or a life of total faith? Because it's so relaxing when you shift into 100% faith. Faith in knowing that you are seen, that you matter, that you are a creator, that you are a blended being with consciousness, that you are made of light, yet you cannot die, that good things are happening to you, that you are just here as this evolving spirit, learning and growing. 100% faith, 100% faith. It's so relaxing.
That
So
must be what I
relaxing.
love about you the most, is that you are so dedicated to your connection. You will not forsake that. And I find that so admirable and so beautiful and so sexy is when someone has that 100% faith, that loyalty to love, that loyalty to themselves, that we're all cultivating that together. Sure, we all have doubt, we have uncertainty, we have fear, we have stuff like that. But in this context of the show must go on, it always overrides those fears.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the part says, oh, I can't do it, or I can't show up for class, or what are we going to do? Or the show must go on.
Yep.
The love must live on.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about, thank you for the lovely comments.
So
by
I
the
just
way.
want to add to that. So maybe faith is playing on the TV and doubt is playing on the radio. That's okay. Just turn the volume of the TV up a little louder.
Right.
Don't get all into, well, I don't know. I think there's still a little bit of hope going on. Because, right, that whole thing, that's so
Who is that character? There's a little bit of hope going on. Who is
right?
that?
Because we are duality, but you choose which one you're going to put on the throne. To me, sometimes it's like the throne of my mind, even. It's not just the heart, it's what I decide. I'm deciding 100% faith. Just turn the volume up on that a little bit. And if the other one is still going, yeah, but don't forget, but you've always been, but so-and-so said, and I don't know, I read in a book. Just let that volume go down.
I read it in a book. It was on the internet. It must be true. And laugh. Laugh at thyself. Laugh at the silliness. Don't take it so serious, right? Just, it's okay. Sometimes you got nothing to say. Just laugh. Be fluid. Big challenge in 2023.
Challenge?
Yeah, I'm trying to feel into like the big one.
I know for me, in this moment, if you ask me tomorrow, it might be something different.
Okay, why don't you? It's so interesting. Like I'm not feeling anything at all. Everything's been just so beautiful, but because of the conversion process.
My biggest challenge, my biggest opportunity in 2020 is 2023 is there's a lot of situations in my life that are obviously out of control.
Okay.
Obviously out of control. They've always been out of control, but in 2023 it's way more obvious, with my mom being in and out of hospitals and doctors, not knowing what's going on with her heart and her dizziness, and my father's situation, needing extra care, and Bentley, our oldest dog, becoming more crippled, more blind, and more maybe some dementia there, and Winston's heart issues increasing, and trying to juggle and be present to the business and present to people, but remember that nothing dies and the connection to all things goes forever, and yet being so precious and attentive to the present moment, but not overly emotional, not putting any different definition on it, but it just seems like there's been a lot to juggle as far as schedules and things like that, and things with my own body. That's probably been the biggest challenge, is trying to schedule and be present, not to miss moments, and also to be available when I can, without forsaking that the show must go on.
You guys, I don't know if I have this to pull up. If I do, I want to pull this up because it's really helpful. It's our mapping. Okay, that's not the one though. So the reason I'm looking for this is because it helps me identify the areas that I'm needing or wanting to grow or feel challenged. And when you guys, or Joanna asked, where do you guys feel challenged the most this year? It's definitely family stuff, what you just shared, the things that are happening. But I noticed that
and it's not bad. Challenge isn't bad. It's just the things that are more obviously on our plate.
Well, that's the thing, is nothing is being processed as bad. And not that Joanna's asking or anyone's asking that, but challenge meaning opportunity to grow, right? Sometimes people say, this is just so horrible. This is so frustrating. This is so bad. And everything's being, I use the word conversion, everything's being used to see the light and to find God in every situation. And so we have this map up on the screen that is very translucent, because sometimes what we'll do is we'll sit right in the middle of it, and that's you right there, and you are the map, and you can look around into the different areas of your life and identify which one is asking for you to bring it into your heart center right now. So when Sabrina was speaking about family, we pull our attention up here. That if you might not be able to read that, it says family and parenting. And what we do is we feel into this area and what's happening, and then we pull it into our heart. And we go into love and we go into light, and we ask, what's the most loving, conscious thing I can do in this regard? For my mom, for my dad, for myself, for my puppies. Maybe it's something going on with your partner, right? Like Sabrina and I are really, really tight, so we haven't had any challenges.
Well, speak for yourself.
That's true. Maybe later today I'm going to pull Sabrina into my heart again. I'm going to invite her back in my heart. For someone else, it might be with their money or investments. We had that a couple of years ago. We had $1 million stolen. That one really rocked our world. But in 2023, so far, this has been the one. Now, what have been the greatest expansions this year? If you were to look, there have been some really beautiful things.
Take the map off.
No. I want it a little bit longer. I've had a lot of upgrades in my physical body. I'm experiencing lately what I'm calling my bliss body. That's been my biggest growth, is I've shifted my identity 100% from the old conditions that used to happen, different things that would pull my attention. Through the Qigong practice, my body's become just so aligned and upgraded. There have been deeper meditations that have helped me learn how to, what we call, interface and enter into the field of possibility, where I'm returning the tissue to its original state. And Sabrina had a beautiful share the other day about how every cell in our body is completely different, 100% every single cell, say from 10 years ago.
Every piece of your organs, everything in your body, none of it was there 10 years ago.
And it's being reproduced and recreated from the consciousness that we're in right now.
From your thoughts.
So you're building your body, your tomorrow body today, based on thought, awareness, consciousness. And so we talk a lot about love, we talk a lot about light, we talk a lot about God and all this stuff. But
God.
That's God. We're soaking ourselves in that conversation and in that vibration and in that consciousness. And we're doing our best to cross the bridge, which means to go into that place in the center of the light and pull that energy into all the areas of our life, family, etc., business. And that's the only way we can find that you can integrate. But when you do integrate, your consciousness mobilizes your energy into new form. And so new form is showing up. And for me, it's been the body. Okay.
I think so far one of the things I'm happiest about from 2023 would be, just when you think you don't care what people think about you, I realize I care so much less than I did before. And that's just really freeing. I see where there are things I want to maybe do, things I want to say, things I think about, but there's just these voices like, well, who would really care? Who would want to listen? Not yet. That's a big one. It's always not yet. We're going to be taking our last breath going, not yet. And I just, for some reason, don't feel that in the same way. Like, it's totally fine. More than ever, it's totally fine. If someone thinks I'm creepy, like they said about us on the Trisbrina Show, creepy. Somebody said they're so creepy.
We are so
if someone thinks I'm creepy, if someone thinks I'm stuck up, if someone thinks I have a poor vocabulary, if someone thinks really great things about me, if someone, whatever anybody wants to think, is fine. The only point of me sharing what's inside of me is for me. It's for me. Just for me. It's all for me. It's all for me. It's all about me. The show of me. The whole reason to share. And that's so important. It isn't about being there for someone else. It isn't about teaching someone else. It isn't about saving the world. It's about being totally me and shining that light bright. And if that shines some light on somebody else's path, that's great. But the point is for me to fully feel the expression of the God that I am, whether anybody really likes it, watches it, notices it, pays me for it or not, that feels really good.
So good.
So good.
So
good.
fun. You make me feel.
Bum, 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 bum.
We are going to share a little bit about what's coming. Just a tiny,
In a minute.
not yet, just in a little bit. There's something coming, something really fun coming.
That's right, Barbara. What anybody thinks about you is
None of your business. That's right.
It's so good. That is such a big lesson. I think so young, so young with school, we're supposed to, this is good behavior, this is bad behavior, this is what is rewarded, this isn't. And whether you're the one that follows the rules in school and gets rewarded, or you're the one that doesn't and gets punished, it's all the same thing. It's still conforming to some idea of how things should be and judging others. That's completely tied into it, right? Because the less I judge myself, the less I judge others. So I'm now noticing when I'm hard on myself, it's like, oh, you're probably being hard on others too, probably judging other people.
Radhika says we truly are the creators of our bodies and our lives through our consciousness. That is a profound insight.
Yeah.
Amen, sister.
We were on an airplane having incredible conversations. I was listening to an audiobook. He was listening to an audiobook, and then we'd take them out and share. Go ahead.
Joanna's here. I just put Joanna up on the screen. She's loving the perspectives.
Thank you.
We love the question, Joanna.
And we were talking about how everything is God. Everything is energy. Everything is light, whatever turns you on in the choice of words. I like everything is God. If everything is God, then my assignment and my value, my perception, my awareness, and my focus on each and everything, therefore, is going to determine how much I allow myself to experience the fullness of God. And here's an example. Maybe there's a sacred space in your house. There's a sacred room, which I love this, and there's a sacred chair, and maybe a sacred journal and a sacred pen, and it's where you sit to meditate. It's your favorite chair. It's your favorite room. It's your favorite pen. It's your favorite journal. And almost when you go there, because you have defined it and perceived it, you have defined it, you have judged it as sacred, as something that uplifts you. When you go there, your experience of that space is so beautiful. Even walking to that space, you already change energetically because you're so used to being so beautiful in that space. Because we have defined it as that and judged it as that. So if you take that and say, well, what if I could define 4 places in my house as sacred spaces? What if I could define my whole house? What if I could define my whole neighborhood, my whole city, my whole world? What if I could start defining, perceiving, observing, and judging everything that I take in as something beautiful, as something sacred, as some kind of gift, as something that's meant to help me grow? Then I get to experience a greater expansiveness of God consciousness because of my perception of it. Wow. Boy,
wow.
That puts all the responsibility on me. And the opposite, I see a space, I judge it as, well, that's a crappy chair. What a stupid pen.
Judging the pen.
Right?
Poor little pen.
Look at that meditation cushion looks horrible, or it
Hey.
stinks in here, right? Just all of these things that those thoughts don't necessarily take away from the sacredness, but they just might. So all the judgments that I have on other people are actually keeping me from experience the beauty of them.
Every single
thought.
Every single thought. I know that it seems like a lot to catch your thoughts and reframe them, but what else are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
You going to let them run amok?
Yeah.
Are you going to let somebody else push negativity into your brain because you're surrounded by it? Or are you going to own your mind and be the master of your mind and not let anybody else bully you with their negative thinking?
Yeah.
What's that saying? Don't let someone else's ugly mess up your beautiful. Really protect your beautiful. Protect the gorgeous consciousness that you are. And that requires full time. You can't be part-time on this. This is full-time. Look, we're sitting here talking love and light and God and all the things are so beautiful. People say, don't listen to those lollipop head people, right? We're just diving into this deep right now because
the show must go on.
The show must go on, but we're not like just sitting around like blowing daisies all day. We're rocking, we're rolling, we're cranking out videos, we're working in Photoshop, we're doing copywriting, we're running our digital publishing, we're cleaning up poo. I mean, we're doing all the things, man. Taking the car in. Who's poo? Who moved my poo?
Who moved my poo?
We're not just like la 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 la. Let's like we're sharing that with you because this is how we protect our consciousness by diving deep into this. But you got to get it done. You got to pay the mortgage,
and it's about
you got to get the tire fixed.
You keep choosing. You don't choose once. You don't choose once to be in the sacredness. You get to choose it over and over and over again. You get to choose it every now.
But isn't this a conversation that we all love having in the midst of our crazy, busy, funky lives?
Yeah.
With all the cray-cray around us, right? Like not everybody's having this conversation, which is totally cool. But like this is a time that we get to dive into this. Yeah. Like we just talk like this around the house outside and like, did you send that email? Did you blah, blah, blah? Don't forget to...
Did you lose my credit card?
Where's my freaking credit card? Right? Like we are normal human beings. And we just love and like to talk about this stuff.
I have something to say.
Say it. Speak.
Mindset. This whole thing about mindset. I think a lot of us have confused mindset with like, let's put some positive frosting on that. Mindset, the way that we are thinking of it, mindset is almost feeling set. Because when you choose what you focus on and when you choose your perception of it and when you choose how you see it, the window that you view that situation through, that is your mind, which is like your consciousness, which is going to completely change how you feel. And that's going to change the energy that you vibrate and the energy that comes to you. So mindset is so much more than mindset. Mindset is not frosting that when you think, something, you try to put some smiles on top of it, like Stuart Smalley, right?
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and
gosh darn it, people like me. It's not that at all. It's genuinely changing your perception. It's looking at something through a different window. And you get to choose. I get to choose how I see something. Me and 100 people can observe the same thing, and we all get to choose what it means to us or what it doesn't mean to us and what it has to do with us.
That's
or what
powerful
it doesn't
stuff,
has
man.
to do with you.
You should write a book
man.
about this stuff.
Yeah.
You're good at this. Can we share our cake? We're going to show you something we made.
Speaking of frosting.
We made something. Can't have it yet, but you can have it next week. Okay. So I'm going to show you a pretty picture. This is something that we made.
Don't put more frosting on it.
3, 2, 1.
Ta-da!
And this is what's coming to you. So we made a program that you can share with your friends.
Take it away.
Or you can do it yourself. It's Qigong for a healthy, strong spine.
This is going to be a 10-minute routine. It's a 3-part video series that everyone who registers for our upcoming 5-day energy detox and reboot event, which is different every single time, as you know, everyone's going to get a free copy of that program, which is all new. Like we just shot it last week. It's very new.
It comes with the ticket to the free day event, but you can't get it yet because it's not ready.
Tickets are not being given away at this time.
But it will be ready next week. Okay, that's all we got. Yep, love and light. Spine is the information highway.
It's so... I was really, really excited about this free gift. I think so many people need it because they're in pain, or they get glitches, or they just start getting more stiff as we get older. And what's really cool is in the routine, every now and then you see an alternative of how you could do it if you were in the chair, or how you can do it if you're extra bendy. Mm-hmm. So that's the frosting.
Yeah, that looks really cool the way it came out.
You can have a link to next week.
That's right.
And we really, really appreciate it when you tell everyone that you love.
Tell everyone.
And especially the people you don't like, tell them too, so they'll become nicer and they can come.
Yeah, invite all the people. No, only invite cool kids. You are so welcome, Margaret, and everybody. Thank you for joining us on the show. You never know what you're going to get. Today was the mystery topic. I think we kind of had a cool share about the show must go on.
Yeah.
No matter what, right?
Yeah. Thank you for the questions.
And yes, a book. See, they want the book. You're welcome, Laura. Cheryl wants the book. We actually mapped out our book on our flight the other day, didn't we? Mm-hmm. We did all the chapters. Uh-oh. I pushed the wrong button. Oh boy.
Oops. He did it again.
All right, y'all. Do a nice smile. 1, 2, 3.
I went to the dry bar today. It's the first time you go there and they like wash your hair and dry it and curl it. Mm-hmm. Never done that before.
You look really cute.
Thank you.
So cute. Okay. Ta-ta.